Welcome to our channel. Today we embark on a rather somber, yet crucial exploration. We're counting down the top 10 most dangerous cities in the world for 2025. These are urban environments where the delicate balance of human society has, in many ways, been severely disrupted, leading to conditions of considerable risk for their inhabitants. It is a journey into the heart of human struggle, where survival often means navigating a complex and treacherous landscape, not unlike the most challenging terrains found in the natural world. Stay tuned to find out which cities made the list and why, as we delve into the intricate factors that contribute to their perilous reputations. Our planet, a tapestry of diverse ecosystems, also hosts these vast man-made habitats, our cities. Some gleam as beacons of progress and innovation, intricate hives of activity and cooperation. Yet others, through a confluence of socio-economic pressures, political instability, and the raw, often untamed aspects of human nature, become arenas of intense competition and conflict. Here, the daily existence for many is a testament to resilience, but also a stark reminder of the fragility of order when societal structures falter. We shall examine these places not to sensationalize, but to understand the forces at play. This exploration is vital, for in understanding the challenges faced by these urban communities, we gain insight into the broader human condition. The factors that render a city dangerous are often complex and deeply rooted, a tangled web of history, economics, and human behavior. As we journey through this list, we will observe the patterns, the causes, and the profound impact these environments have on the human spirit. It is an endeavor to look beyond mere statistics, to perceive the human stories unfolding within these concrete jungles, and to appreciate the incredible adaptability and sometimes desperation of our species. Our first destination takes us to the South American continent, to Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. Here, the vibrant pulse of a once thriving metropolis now beats with an undercurrent of profound unease. The city finds itself ensnared in a complex web of extremely high crime rates, a consequence of years of deep-seated political instability and severe economic hardship. The very fabric of society here seems frayed, as citizens navigate a daily existence where personal safety is a constant, pressing concern. The rule of law, a cornerstone of any stable urban ecosystem, has been significantly eroded, leaving vast swaths of the population vulnerable to the unpredictable and often brutal dynamics of survival in a city where resources are scarce and desperation is rife. The challenges are manifold, from rampant street crime that makes simple daily routines perilous, to more organized illicit activities that flourish in the shadows of a weakened state. Political turmoil has created a vacuum, one that is often filled by those who operate outside the bounds of established societal norms, further exacerbating the sense of insecurity. For the inhabitants of Caracas, life has become a continuous adaptation to an environment where the familiar structures of protection and order are no longer guaranteed. The resilience of the human spirit is undeniably present, yet it is tested daily against a backdrop of pervasive uncertainty and the constant threat of danger, making Caracas a stark example of an urban environment under immense strain. We journey now to Central America, to San Pedro Sula in Honduras, a city that has long contended with an unenviable reputation. This urban center has become a notorious focal point for intense gang violence, a grim theater where territorial disputes and power struggles play out with devastating consequences for the local populace. The city's strategic location has also rendered it a crucial transit point for international drug trafficking networks. And this illicit trade casts a long, dark shadow over everyday life, fueling corruption, violence, and a pervasive atmosphere of fear. The influence of these powerful criminal organizations permeates many aspects of society, creating an environment where law enforcement struggles to maintain control and citizens live under constant threat. The maras, or street gangs, are a dominant force, their presence felt across neighborhoods, often dictating the rhythms of life and death. For many young people, the allure or coercion of gang membership presents a dangerous path, yet one that offers a semblance of power or protection in a world of limited opportunities. The cycle of violence is relentless, with retaliatory actions ensuring that peace remains an elusive dream for the residents of San Pedro Sula. The very streets can become battlegrounds, and the innocent are all too often caught in the crossfire of conflicts they have no part in, making this city a stark illustration of how criminal enterprises can hold an entire urban population hostage. Our focus now shifts to the African continent, to the breathtakingly beautiful city of Cape Town, South Africa. Yet beneath its stunning vistas of mountains and oceans lies a deeply fractured reality. Cape Town is a city of stark contrasts, where affluent suburbs exist in close proximity to impoverished townships, and this profound social and economic inequality is a significant driver of its alarmingly high murder rates and widespread crime. The legacy of apartheid continues to cast a long shadow, with systemic disparities creating fertile ground for frustration, resentment, and ultimately, violence. The struggle for resources, for dignity, and for a place in society manifests in ways that make certain areas of this city exceptionally dangerous. The high incidence of violent crime, particularly murder and robbery, is concentrated in specific locales, often those most affected by poverty and lack of opportunity. Here, the social contract feels broken, and communities grapple with the daily realities of gang warfare, substance abuse, and a desperate struggle for survival. While some parts of Cape Town offer a world-class experience to tourists and wealthier residents, others are caught in a cycle of deprivation and violence that seems almost inescapable. This duality makes Cape Town a poignant example of how unresolved social injustices and deep-seated inequalities can transform a place of natural splendor into an urban environment fraught with peril for many of its inhabitants. Chapter 4. We travel north now, to the United States-Mexico border, to Ciudad Juarez. This city has for many years been synonymous with the brutal realities of the drug trade. Its strategic position along major trafficking routes into the United States has made it a fiercely contested territory for powerful drug cartels. These criminal organizations wage relentless wars against each other and against state forces, and the civilian population is frequently caught in the devastating crossfire. The sheer scale of violence, often characterized by its extreme brutality, has instilled a deep-seated fear within the community, transforming everyday life into a cautious navigation of potential threats. The quest for control over lucrative smuggling corridors fuels an unending cycle of conflict. The impact of this ongoing narco war is profound, affecting every facet of life in Juarez. Businesses face extortion, individuals fear kidnapping, and the public spaces that should foster community are often deserted due to safety concerns. Law enforcement agencies, despite significant efforts and international cooperation, find themselves locked in a seemingly intractable battle against these well-armed and deeply entrenched criminal syndicates. The very proximity to a wealthy consumer market for illicit substances makes this border region a perpetual battleground. Ciudad Juarez stands as a stark testament to the devastating consequences when organized crime becomes a dominant force within an urban landscape, holding its citizens in a grip of terror and uncertainty. Chapter 5. Our journey now takes us, perhaps surprisingly for some, to the United States, specifically to St. Louis, Missouri. While not typically associated with the kind of cartel or overt political instability seen elsewhere, St. Louis consistently registers one of the highest violent crime rates, particularly homicides, per capita in the nation. This Midwestern city grapples with a complex array of socioeconomic challenges that contribute to this troubling statistic. Decades of deindustrialization, population decline in certain areas, racial segregation and concentrated poverty have created conditions where crime can fester and thrive. The issues are deeply ingrained, representing systemic failures that have left many communities vulnerable and underserved. The high crime rates in St. Louis are not uniformly distributed. Rather, they are often hyper-concentrated in specific neighborhoods that have borne the brunt of historical disinvestment and social neglect. These areas face a daily struggle with gun violence, drug-related crime, and a general sense of insecurity that erodes community trust and well-being. Efforts to combat these issues are ongoing, involving community initiatives, policing strategies, and attempts to address the root causes through economic development and social programs. However, the path to significant lasting improvement is long and arduous, making St. Louis a sobering example of how deep-seated socio-economic disparities within a developed nation can nonetheless cultivate environments of significant danger. Chapter 6. We return to South America, to the coastal city of Fortaleza in northeastern Brazil. Known for its stunning beaches and vibrant culture, Fortaleza also harbors a darker side, marked by alarming levels of gang violence and some of the highest murder rates in the country, and indeed the world. The city has become a battleground for rival criminal factions, often fighting for control over drug trafficking territories and local extortion rackets. This pervasive violence spills out from impoverished favelas into broader urban areas, creating a climate of fear that impacts residents from all walks of life. The allure of the coast can often mask the grim realities faced by many within the city's sprawling urban expanse. The dynamics of violence in Fortaleza are complex, fueled by a potent mix of poverty, lack of opportunity for youth, and the lucrative nature of the illicit drug trade. Clashes between organized crime groups are frequent and brutal, with innocent bystanders all too often becoming collateral damage. Law enforcement agencies struggle to contain the escalating violence, sometimes facing accusations of their own heavy-handed tactics. For the communities caught in the middle, life is a precarious balance, navigating invisible front lines and the ever-present threat of sudden, lethal conflict. Fortaleza's predicament underscores the tragic paradox of a city blessed with natural beauty, yet blighted by man-made violence and social despair. Chapter 7. Kingston, Jamaica: Rhythms and Risks in the Caribbean. Our exploration now leads us to the Caribbean, to Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. This city, renowned globally for its vibrant music scene and rich cultural heritage, also contends with deeply entrenched issues of gang violence and high crime rates that cast a shadow over its lively exterior. Politically affiliated gangs known as posses or crews have historically held sway over specific communities, often referred to as garrisons. These groups are involved in a range of criminal activities, from drug trafficking and extortion to armed robbery and murder, creating zones where their authority often supersedes that of the state. And intergang warfare can lead to devastating flare-ups of violence. The roots of Kingston's crime problem are multifaceted, intertwined with socioeconomic deprivation, limited educational and employment opportunities for young men, and the corrosive influence of the international drug trade, for which Jamaica serves as a transit point. While tourist areas are generally more insulated, the reality for many residents in Kingston's inner-city communities is one of daily exposure to potential danger. The struggle for control over turf and resources between rival factions leads to a persistent cycle of retribution and bloodshed. Despite numerous efforts by authorities and community organizations to break this cycle, Kingston remains a city where the vibrant rhythms of life are too often punctuated by the discordant notes of violence and fear. Chapter 8. Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, a frontier of urban challenge. We venture now into Oceania to Port Moresby, the capital of Papua New Guinea. This is a city facing a unique set of challenges, characterized by extremely high rates of violent crime including robbery, carjacking, and sexual assault, often perpetrated by gangs known locally as rascals. The difficulties are compounded by a severe lack of effective law enforcement and a struggling justice system, which means that many crimes go unpunished, fostering an environment of impunity. The rapid urbanization experienced by Port Moresby, with many people migrating from rural areas in search of opportunity, has outpaced the development of infrastructure and social services, leading to widespread unemployment and social friction. The societal landscape in Port Moresby is complex, with traditional tribal allegiances sometimes clashing within the urban setting, further complicating law and order. The rascal gangs, often comprised of disaffected young men with few prospects, engage in opportunistic and sometimes brutal criminal activities, making public spaces feel unsafe, especially after dark. For residents and expatriates alike, daily life requires a heightened sense of awareness and stringent security measures. The challenges faced by Port Moresby highlight the immense difficulties in establishing and maintaining civic order in a rapidly changing urban environment with limited state capacity and deep-seated socio-economic problems, making it one of the most consistently dangerous capital cities on Earth. Chapter 9. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the marvelous city's darker side. Our journey brings us back to Brazil, this time to the iconic city of Rio de Janeiro. Famed for its breathtaking natural beauty, its carnival, and its vibrant culture, Rio, the Cidade Maravilhosa, also grapples with persistent and deeply ingrained issues of crime, particularly within its sprawling favelas or informal settlements. These communities, often located on the hillsides overlooking the city's more affluent areas, are frequently battlegrounds for drug factions vying for control, and also sites of intense confrontations with police forces. The violence is not confined to the favelas, however, as street crime, including muggings and robberies, remains a significant concern throughout many parts of the city, affecting both locals and tourists. The complexities of Rio's security situation are further exacerbated by issues of police corruption and brutality, which erode public trust and can themselves contribute to cycles of violence. While significant efforts have been made over the years to pacify certain favelas and improve security, the underlying problems of poverty, social inequality, and the power of heavily armed drug gangs remain formidable challenges. The stark contrast between the city's glamorous image and the harsh realities faced by many of its inhabitants is a constant reminder of the deep divisions that fuel its struggles with crime. Rio de Janeiro, for all its allure, remains a city where beauty and danger coexist in a precarious and often volatile balance. Chapter 10. Tijuana, Mexico. Life on the volatile edge. Our final city in this sobering examination is Tijuana, Mexico, another major urban center situated directly on the U.S. border. Much like its counterpart, Ciudad Juarez, Tijuana has been a critical arena for drug cartel operations, serving as a key gateway for smuggling narcotics into the United States. This has inevitably led to high levels of drug-related violence, as rival cartels battle fiercely for control of these lucrative trafficking routes and the local drug distribution networks. Homicides, kidnappings, and extortion are all too common, creating an environment of pervasive insecurity for many of its residents, despite the city's vibrant cultural scene and economic importance as a manufacturing hub. The proximity to the border influences nearly every aspect of life and crime in Tijuana. The constant flow of people and goods provides cover for illicit activities, and the demand from the north fuels the power and ruthlessness of the criminal organizations. Law enforcement efforts are perpetually challenged by the cartel's resources, firepower, and capacity to corrupt. While certain areas of Tijuana thrive with tourism and commerce, other neighborhoods are essentially no-go zones dominated by criminal elements. The city exists in a state of constant flux, a dynamic and often dangerous frontier where the immense profits of the drug trade continue to exact a heavy toll on human lives and community safety. Outro: Navigating the Urban Maze, a concluding reflection. Our journey through these 10 cities has been a stark reminder of the complex challenges that can arise within our human habitats. From the political turmoil in Caracas, to the cartel wars on the Mexican border, from the socioeconomic divides in Cape Town, to the gang violence gripping cities in Central America and the Caribbean, the threads of causation are varied, yet the human cost is universally profound. These are not just names on a list, they are home to millions, each individual navigating their existence within environments where safety and security are far from guaranteed. Understanding these dynamics is the first step towards comprehending the broader struggles for stability and peace in our urban world. It's crucial to remember that, even in the most dangerous of environments, the human spirit endures. Communities strive, individuals persevere, and efforts are constantly underway both locally and internationally to address the root causes of violence and instability. These cities are complex ecosystems, and their problems rarely have simple solutions. They require sustained attention, resources, and a commitment to fostering justice, opportunity, and effective governance. Our aim has been to inform, to shed light on these difficult realities, not to instill fear, but to encourage a deeper awareness of the global human tapestry. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content where we explore the intricacies of our world. We are keen to hear your thoughts, so let us know in the comments which city or the factors contributing to its dangers surprised you the most, or if there are other urban challenges you believe warrant closer examination. Your engagement helps us continue these important conversations.